Wipe the grease off those hands. You're back in the garage with Bodie Stroud.
Welcome back to the show. For the break, we were talking about all kinds of stuff that makes us mad. That's what it pretty much comes down to. Wouldn't you say, Butch? You still there, Butch? Uh-oh. Butch, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, there you go. We lost you for a second. Sorry about that.
Okay, I understand that. So, you know, Bodie, I don't know whether you know it or not, but I actually do the same thing you're doing right now. I do a 90-minute radio program.
Yeah, that's what I was reading about you, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's kind of sometimes, the engineer flips the wrong switch or you push the wrong button. I totally understand that,
Yeah.
So, but I guess the most important thing is that, there are so many, and we need younger people. We need younger people, and that's why the Rat Rod movement, the Model T restorers are picking up with younger guys getting into the hobby. You yourself are younger than, say, I am and the club I belong to, But the younger people need to understand that they need to. They're our future.
Yes, I agree 100%. I agree with you.
They need to get involved with organizations like ACCC in order because they want to be driving Grandpa's Oldsmobile and be able to drive it and enjoy it. And I guess if I don't say anything else today, and it's so nice of you to invite me to come on the show, is that the Association of California Car Clubs, it's one of those organizations it's kind of under the radar because, again, we're a voluntary organization, been around for 40 years, and it's club memberships, and I got to give a little plug. If you belong to a car club and the club wants to belong to ACCC, and hopefully you'll want to support us, it's only $5 a member. And, and an individual membership for just the individual car owner is $25 a year. And
that's
we
not
put
much.
out... Exactly, and I've had guys say, well, gee, it's $25, and I'm going, well, you're driving a $70,000 hot rod, or you've got a $250,000 Auburn, what's $25?
Yeah, exactly.
But so I don't forget, the ACCC has a website. It's called ACCC Defender DEFENDER.org. And that's the name of our quarterly newsletter. And you can go on our website, you can read our newsletter, and you can get the information. We just started a corporate sponsor program last year, a business sponsor program, and so on. Because, again, we are paying a lobbyist, and I'm telling you, lobbyists are not cheap. And this guy works for dirt for us because he loves old cars. Yeah. But there needs to be a voice. And,
there does. There really does.
We know that, guys like yourself and like our directors in the San Diego area, like we have a huge organization called the San Diego Car Club Council, which is about 90 clubs in San Diego. Mm-hmm. They're big supporters of the ACCC, along with the Inland Empire Car Club Council and so on. But these guys and gals just can't jump in a car and zip up to Sacramento. Well, those of us that live here, we don't mind doing it. But again, so what we ask for is their support at getting the word out. We have an excellent president right now. We've had good presidents over the years. In fact, we just recognized all of them at our 40th anniversary banquet in this past March. But our president this year is Rex Roden. In fact, he lives about 10 miles from me. We live up here in the foothills toward Lake Tahoe. And nice. And we do a lot of getting out and talking to groups, even groups like chambers of commerces and church groups that like to use cars as fundraisers. So we go out and talk to them and say, if you folks don't support us and support this legislation or be against legislation, then, one of your fundraisers could possibly go away.
Yeah, it just baffles me. I mean, most of these people are hypocrites. That's basically what it is. They're hypocrites, and I don't know if it's I don't know where they were born and raised, but if they were born and raised here, you would think they would have some sort of American pride, but it's like they don't. They don't understand where our roots were established,
right.
and it's so maddening that people would try and take something like this away. I'm kind of like speechless right now. You know what I mean? I got so many things I want to say. It's like I wouldn't even know where to start.
For about 15 or 20 years in our educational system, people got away from metal shop and wood shop and plastic shop, and everybody had to learn how to use a computer. And computers are great. They really, really are. And you can design anything you want on a computer, but try building it with that computer.
Yeah, I hate computers. I think it was the worst thing ever, because I had Auto Shop, Mr. Campbell, high school. Still remember him. I was great friends with him. I loved Auto Shop. I had Wood Shop. I had Metal Shop. I agree with you. Right. The kids do not know how to use their hands these days, and that is kind of, I got some pretty cool stuff coming up in the works, and that's what I'm trying to hit aggressively, is getting the young kids involved with using their hands, and the importance of preserving our history is basically what it is, and to have some kind of pride. Nobody has any pride these days,
Well, and that's why the rat rod movement that started a few years ago, which is actually kind of waning right now and turning into more traditional stuff, which is great. But those a lot of the guys that started that, like the original Poor Boys, the Road Zombies, the Shifters, and so on and so forth, they were 18, 19 years old. Well, now they're 35 and 40 years old, and they've got families, and they're the kids, the young people that we want to encourage.
Yeah, because they're passing it down.
There is an excellent program right here in the Sacramento area. It's at the Yuba County Office of Education, and it's called Hot Rod U. And a gentleman by the name of Ken Hamill runs this class. It's unbelievable. And 5 years ago, when I was a show manager for the Grand National Roadster Show, the kids built a Model T, and they came down there. It was a T-bucket, cookie car type thing,
Yeah.
And they came down there, and I swear, they just wanted to show their car and be at the Grand National Roadster Show. Well, when I was announcing the awards, I'm reading down the list, and all of a sudden I get to T-bucket class, and I read off fourth place and third place and second place. And I got the first place, and there's 1,000 people standing out there in front of me. First place, Yuba County Office of Education.
No
The
way.
place went nuts.
That is awesome. What year was that?
This was, let's see, I haven't managed the show since my last year was 05, so it must have been 04 or 05.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was the second year we moved the show to Pomona.
Wow.
The second year we had in Pomona. But Ken Hamill and a couple other teachers, and what's really nice is the Yuba County, which is a small, very rural county, their Office of Education, though, keeps funding this class. And it's unbelievable what he's teaching. And this isn't just a mess-around class. They have to have the grades to even apply for this class. They have to attend this class. They have to have a project, just like you and I when we were in Auto Shop.
Well, hey, Butch, we got to take another break, but hang on to that. I want to learn more about this. This sounds really good. So we'll be right back. Hang on there.
Okay.
If you gotta go, you better be quick, because we'll be right back in the garage with Bodie Stroud.